Hey guys, so Willard here, back in with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Merciless Wave Infected Superman. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, as I said before, today we are taking a look at the Infected Superman from the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Merciless Wave. Now I actually already reviewed the Merciless Collect and Connect, Build-A-Figure, whatever you want to call it, a few weeks ago now. I did it before the Mythic Legion's All-Stars figures came in. So if you want to check that out, you can do so at your own leisure, along with the Robin Crow and the Batman Who Laughs Sky Tyrant. But next up, we're going to be taking a look at this guy, because we got to mix it up a little bit. I've been reviewing a lot of the Batman figures outside of this wave. Death Metal Batman, Batman the Drowned, which is really a woman, the White Knight Batman, etc., etc., Batman the Merciless. I mean, the list goes on. So I think throwing a Superman figure into the mix is going to help add a little bit more variety to this channel, because I do like other things, and this is one of them. So with that being said, let's kick things off with aesthetics and articulation, shall we? Let's do. Anyone else think that this figure is a backwards S symbol away from being a really kick-ass Bizarro? This guy does, but really awesome figure. I'm not, and I can't stress this enough, I am not a big fan of Superman. I think he's kind of, well, a dick. But with that being said, this is an awesome Superman figure. I love the kind of Gundam looking Superman figure they did about a year ago now. Gee whiz. Size comparison with that will be towards the end of the video, but this is probably, as far as like a bare bones Superman goes, this is probably the best one I've gotten my hands on from Mattel or McFarlane. I don't remember if I have a DC Direct or Collectibles one, but I've definitely messed with a lot of the other Superman figures, whether it's from toy shows or hearsay or whatnot. I've definitely monkeyed with enough Superman figures to know what I'm talking about as far as a good base body goes, and this is definitely that. So articulation on this amazing figure. His head rotates all the way around, super easy, nice and butter smooth. Snap his neck, now he's dead, you know the drill. He can look up pretty far. I don't think that's too bad. Some people might want more, but I think that's fair. He can look down. He can tilt side to side, lots of attitude out of that. Shoulders go out to the side, a little bit past 90, then back down. You can rotate all the way around, you know, if you move the cape out of the way, which is a nice soft rubbery plastic. It is also very tattered and torn, much like Bizarro's. Why isn't this a Bizarro figure? Gee whiz. Because they are getting to that one. Bicep swivel. Works fine. Single joint at the elbow, but is it a single? I think it's a double. Hold on. Hold everything. It's a double. How about that? I forgot about that. Gee whiz. Yeah. It's a pretty stiff double, but it's a double. And he can, of course, punch himself in his own face. So that's cool. Straighten the arm back out. Wrists are on hinge and swivels, as usual, part of the core for the McFarlane figures in general at this point. Diaphragm joint, not a lot of crunch forward. You can't crunch it back, though, so if you want to get them into some cool flight poses, you can do that. and it does rotate a little bit loose, but not too loose to where it's not going to maintain a pose. And then the waist is pretty stiff because the diaper piece they gave this guy is really, I think it's hard plastic even. It feels more like the bicep or something instead of like maybe this cape here. But you can't get a ton of range out of the hips or the waist because of that. So that's a bit of a bummer, but that's not that big a deal. He does have a pretty good thigh swivel, though, in lieu of all that. He can... and not kick himself in his own ass. Boo! He doesn't need to, though. But he does have the rocker with the hinge and the swivel. And then the toe joint, which on this guy is pretty loose, so that's not cool. It's got some flashing in there, so I might have to schnick that off, but that's nothing too crazy. I can handle that. I can handle that. But I will say, I think the detents on the ankles could be a little bit, there either needs to be more of them, or they need to be not as, I don't want to say stiff, because I don't want my figures to just fall over, but they are kind of tricky to stand sometimes. Just because I don't think there's enough detents in those ankles to kind of get them in a neutral, flat-footed position. You kind of got to finagle with them. Kind of go in between two of the ratcheting points. But other than that, I really don't have a ton of complaints with this figure. This thing is pretty sick. Although the hips are fairly limited, all things considered. But with that being said, I think it's time to move on to the accessories. Moving on to the accessories, and Infected Soups doesn't come with a lot. However, I do think he comes with enough, we'll say. Stand with a peg on it. Do I even need to show these? Every figure has one. Either way. Collectible trading card. Which, again, look at that art. Looks like Bizarro. It's a Superman down there on the back. Pause and read this, and shout out to my buddy T-Biz for pointing out that you can't actually read these. Thank God, because I sure as hell can't. There you go. Watch, this one's all blurry. There you go. Hopefully you can read that. But if you don't know who Superman is, you living under a rock, son. And last but not least, he comes with, they look like trigger fingers, but I think they're supposed to be like kind of creepy hands. I would have preferred if maybe the fingers were all splayed out, because they do look a lot more like trigger fingers than just kind of creepy style pose hands. Very weird, but I might actually display them with these. I'm not sure. But like the Murder Machine, these are very easy to swap onto the figure. They just got the hole on the bottom. And the Superman has the fists that just kind of pull out like so. I guess we'll put one on. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? And you can peg them on like that. There you go. I did something a little extra today. Didn't do that in the Miles Morales video from a while ago, so consider yourselves blessed. Or cursed, I don't know. But, with all that being said, let's take a look at some size comparisons. Taking a look at some size comparisons, here is the Infected Superman, next to a couple other DC Multiverse Superman figures I have. We got the regular first Superman that McFarlane Toys ever did on the left. Shout out to T-Biz for the hookup on that one. And we got the Superman Unchained on the right. I actually reviewed that figure just about a year ago now. Funny how time kind of flies and kind of doesn't. And also, that thing looks more like a Gundam more than anything. Up next here is next to a couple other infected characters from the Dark Knight's Metal story arc. We got the Robin Crow from this very same wave on the left, and the Batman Who Laughs on the right, who I also reviewed just about a year ago now. So again, funny how time flies. And last but certainly not least, got our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus on the left, and another figure I reviewed just about a year ago now, the Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn on the right. So with that being said, time to wrap things up, some final thoughts. Overall, and while I am not, I can't stress this enough, not the biggest Superman fan in the world, I gotta be honest here, this is a pretty solid figure and is my second favorite standard release from this wave, the Build a Merciless wave, that is. Not the Dark Knight's Metal, the whole shebang, because, well, he doesn't hold a candle to Batman Who Laughs. Sorry, not sorry. But with that being said, it does give me hopes that we are going to see a badass Bizarro sometime in the near to distant future, and possibly even a rebirth Superman utilizing this bulkier base body. And again, I think it's one of the better Superman base bodies, albeit with a little bit of limited range of movement in those hips. So, with that being said, I would highly recommend you pick this figure up, even if you're not into the Dark Knight's Metal story arc, if I can speak here. I think this is a cool figure just to mess around with and play with, and maybe even turn into a custom Bizarro if you so choose. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. We're going to wrap this wave up soon here, within the next week or so, depending on when I upload this. I am recording it a little bit in advance, but that just goes without saying because I gotta stay one step ahead. Stay one step ahead. That's a Mad Monster Party reference for those of you who are, well, boomers or old as shit. So, with that being said, we're going to wrap this wave up with the Greg Capullo-style Batman, the Dark Knight's Metal Batman, and probably an overview like I did with the Mythic Legion's All-Stars wave, but that will come sometime, again, in the next week or so, depending on when I upload this. It should be relatively soon after. And as always, don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of this figure, if you are stoked to see a Bizarro on this body mold. That isn't confirmed, by the way, I'm just saying. Wishful thinking. But remember, as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.